Hey friends, Ryan Frank, welcome to the Daily Coffee Chat. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, podcast listeners. All right. Andy, jump on here with me quick. Big day today, isn't it, Andy?
Good morning. What's that?
Big day today.
Every day's a big day.
Big day. You know why?
No, but I bet you're going to tell me.
Huh? Don't you read those emails that you helped me put together? Today is the last day to order your...
Oh, your KidzMatter limited edition 2020 hat.
That's right. Today is the last day, friends, to order your
Last day.
KidzMatter 2020 limited edition KidzMatter hat.
I'm getting mine.
All right, now I got to try to find it. So let me go to KidzMatter swag, and you'll see it there. There it is. Probably ought to feature it on the homepage today since it's the last day. But there you go. We are putting our orders in tomorrow. If you've not ordered your 2020 limited edition KidzMatter hat,
Get one and you can be every bit as cute as that panda right there.
You can be. You can be. I know $30 is it's not cheap for a hat. Our price is like $23. So we were marking up a few bucks. I have to pay somebody to ship them out and that kind of stuff, but we really don't have much of a markup on these hats. They're nice, good quality hats. Got a leather little emblem on it that says KidzMatter. And I'm pretty excited to get my hat, Andy. So you need to order them today. We're waiting to see how many people order them to put our final order in. So we'll put our final order in tomorrow. And then I think it's like a 2-week turnaround time. So end of July, you should get your hat.
Yeah, if you're a guy who is what you would say follically challenged, these are going to come in big. These are going to come in very.
That is one thing you and I have in common, Andy, isn't it?
Good hairlines.
Great hairlines.
Great hairlines.
And some gray showing through.
And gray.
And some gray. All right. That's
right,
it, Andy. Just wanted to quiz you.
All right.
Remember that today's such a big day.
It is.
All right, thanks, Andy. Hey, if you've not been to KidzMatter in a while, you need to jump over there because we've had, almost every day we're adding new content, new downloads to KidzMatter. Most days it's several things. Yesterday there were like 5 or 6 new downloads. But I think probably the biggest announcement, these are all brand new games in the last 24 hours. Find It. Preschool Puzzles is a new game because a lot of you are asking for more downloads for preschool, early childhood. I think the biggest news in KidzMatter over the last 5 days has been the addition of a worship videos standalone category. We've always had some worship videos from Uncle Charlie and All Stars Kids Club, but we have added doorpost songs. We have added Yancey. Jeff McCullough, Jumpstart 3 is going to be jumping on board here pretty soon, and others. And we're going to be sprinkling out new downloads from all of these worship providers. So there's great worship videos on here. These doorpost song downloads, they include a hand motions video so that you can learn the hand motions, or if you want, the kids could actually sing the first couple of weeks with the hand motions video. So they do what the person on the screen does. This is good stuff. I am so excited about the worship videos. KidzMatter is going to become the #1 place to go to, I believe, for kid men worship videos. Of course, we got some banners there on Global Kid Men Day happening August the 8th, right around the corner, like 30 days away or something like that from Global Kid Men Day. So if it's been a while, and the KidzMatter Podcast Network, that's up there on big news for KidzMatter over the last week, and that is we have added the KidzMatter Podcast Network. You heard it here first. Andy, jump back on here with me quick. Andy, jump back on. I'll let you make the announcement.
Yes.
Sometimes it seems like I'm the one that gets to make the big announcements on here. Tell everybody what's coming to the KidzMatter Podcast Network.
We are going to be joined by the fabulous Josh Denhart and his
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Leading Volunteers podcast.
Leading Volunteers. That's what I was trying to find.
Yeah.
Quick. The Leading Volunteers podcast stuff. And
I think
it's only making things better.
We are. I think Josh Denhart's Leading Volunteers podcast is probably the best podcast out there for children's ministry. I mean, I'm partial to the KidzMatter podcast, my own podcast, but Josh Denhart is setting the bar so high. And we've been talking over the last week. His podcast is joining the KidzMatter podcast network. So whenever there is a new podcast, actually with Josh's, we're going to go back and start adding. We're going to start with volume 1 or episode 1 and add them in. But Josh's podcast is going to hit the KidzMatter podcast network. Super pumped about that. So anytime there's show notes on here, if you want to keep up with the latest in the KidzMatter podcast network, they're all accessible from right here on KidzMatter.com. So you click it, and if you've gone to a podcast and seen their show notes, that's pretty much what we have here. So a summary of the podcast. There's a player embedded. If you want to listen from here, you can. Of course, you can also listen from anywhere that podcasts can be found. Any show links are here. Any show links. So yeah, pumped about this. Big shout out to Josh Denhart and the Leading Volunteers podcast.
And might I say,
what's that?
Might I say that, I mean, it's worth it just to see those graphics. I mean, those graphics are just
they're all right.
Fantastic. I don't know how you got doing those, but man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I think his name's Andy last time I checked. They are good graphics. Andy, when do you think we're going to see the first Josh Denhart podcast on the homepage? Remember, this is live. You are being recorded.
Should we have titled today's episode, Put Andy on the Spot?
Yeah.
Let's say tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
By tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., we should see the first one?
Yep.
I love it.
Now you said should, so.
And you didn't say what time zone either. I noticed that. You didn't say that. So tomorrow when it's 9 a.m. Eastern, you could be like, oh, I was talking like Fiji time.
Yeah, New Zealand.
Exactly.
No, that probably hurt me.
All right.
It'll get there quick.
All right. Thanks, Andy. Amber Pike's going to join me on the podcast. Amber is, she is a Kidman Academy graduate. I don't think she's missed a MegaCon yet, but her real claim to fame is she's a mom. She's a kids pastor. She's an author. And she's the executive editor of KidzMatter magazine. How are you, Amber?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So you're a mom. You're a homeschool mom. And
I'm
prior to COVID, you were homeschooling. So everybody's a homeschool mom and dad right now.
Yeah.
You are a legit homeschool mom.
Yeah.
You're not just a kids pastor, but you oversee the youth ministry
and the nursery.
And the nursery. So nursery through high 12th
high
grade
school.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You write books.
I write books. I write curriculum. I write Bible school.
You write curriculum.
Yeah.
Curriculum.
I've got several new secret projects in the works.
Man, crazy how you get all this stuff done.
My brother and I actually had this conversation yesterday, and he couldn't understand what all I do. He's like, no, I need you to explain it again. He's like, do your kids ever see you?
Well, you know what? And I know they do. You're a great mom, first and foremost. But you've learned to stay organized and set
I work weird hours too.
You have what? You work weird hours?
I do.
Okay.
You get a lot of like 11:30 emails from me at night.
That's true, because the kids are in bed.
Yes.
And the house is quiet.
Yes.
The house is quiet. So, man, it seems like the summer issue just arrived, and here you are. I know you were deep into the fall issue.
Yeah.
Of KidzMatter magazine, which is also the MegaCon issue. Tell us about it.
We've got some neat stuff in there that I'm really excited about. You guys are going to hear about a brand new, to me, product. I did an interview with an organization called GYMS. It's a girls club And I'm really excited. It was so neat. I'd never heard about it. And I have been in the ministry, in the church my whole life. And it was a first time thing for me. So I'm really excited to get to tell you guys about that.
That's
D6
cool.
is launching a new curriculum you guys are going to hear about. We've got some articles coming that I've not read yet because they're still in the works, but on what the church is going to look like afterwards, after COVID, because we're kind of in that awkward, what does church look like now? What's the new normal? Where do we go from here? I know a lot of the nation honestly reopens this Sunday. My church opens this Sunday. I'm in Kentucky. That's the reopen date is the 12th for most people. So we've got some cool stuff. We've got David Wakerly from Hillsong. Boris, the church baby, is writing us an article.
Now, hold on. Okay, David Wakerly, don't miss that. Children's pastor at Hillsong. That's a big deal. And then who after that?
He's Boris, the church baby. That's his character in his curriculum.
Yeah, yes, he is. Okay.
My children, my son and my kids at church, they love him. I think he's hilarious, and honestly, I laugh more at the jokes than the children do.
His name is, I know because we did the teaching unit of theirs at my church last summer, but I forget his name. It's Boris.
Boris, the church baby. It's like.
And he does it with Funny Man Dan, who's a church baby too.
Yeah,
right?
It's like babies, and then they put their heads on them, and it's not a great, like on purpose, not a great fit. And it's really funny because the Dan baby doesn't really talk words, but he always like solves the problem. And then Boris, the church baby, has this horrible life. I need it solved. And then it's solved with like baby babbling. And it's so funny. I love it.
I love it. So we're gonna have a good issue. And the flip
we're gonna
side,
have a really good issue.
Even though MegaCon is different this year and it's online because of COVID, and we're going at it a little bit different. The flip side is still going to be a MegaCon issue.
Yeah.
About MegaCon, right?
Yeah. So then the flip side, you'll have, we're splitting it up because last year people liked having the note pages. So this year, each day you'll have your daily schedule, and then you'll have the note page right beside it. So you'll get to, I thought that was a pretty awesome addition that Trish, the MegaCon super planner, amazing. That was her genius this year. So write notes, and then you'll have the resource guide. It's lots of pages of just awesome resources that you can use for your ministry as you're planning on what you want to use and where you want to go with the next season of ministry. Yeah.
I love it. Now, Amber, we released a video today to the KidMin Nation community, those that are part of the KidMin Nation 365 program. That a video of yours, a video training that you created called "Don't Waste Your Summer," and I saw that hit the schedule last week, and I texted you within minutes, and I said we've got to do this on the coffee chat, and I'd love to do it on Tuesday, the day that we release the training. Will you talk to us about that? I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna let you talk for a few minutes. I might interject a few thoughts, but I really want you to take about 10 minutes and just talk about what did you mean by "Don't waste the summer." And then add some value to everybody that's listening or watching today.
Okay. So summer in the ministry, it's normally camps and VBSs, multiple camps. For my church, we would have Camp with the Kids. We had a music camp, which I didn't love, but we had a music camp. Because I'm over the youth, I would go and I would make an appearance at youth camp, which is also, even if you don't work with the youth, you're usually trying to bridge that gap with your 5th graders or your 6th graders who've already moved up. They want to see you. So you've done something with youth at some point in the summer. You maybe have a day camp, you've run events, pool party, something, you've had other stuff. Then there's VBS. There's the weeks of prep work getting to VBS. There's the cleanup from VBS. There's getting everything ready to roll for fall. There's filling in volunteer gaps. There's kids in and out. Summer's crazy. And then now we're kind of mourning because we don't have all of that. And like for me, camp, huge deal. I love summer camp. We do Center Kid. This was I think my 12th year that would have taken kids to camp. And I tell in the video, I love camp so much that I took both of my children to camp when they were 2 months old. There is nothing. Yes. There is nothing that says you love camp like taking a 2-month-old to camp with 500 screaming kids there twice. Like I love camp. It's just, you see lives change. It's not just
True.
fun and crazy and everyone's covered in shaving cream and no one showers through the week so they all smell, but lives are changed. And the same thing with VBS. VBS is truly my favorite time of the year. This summer, or this past Sunday at church, I did a little like talk, and I asked the congregation, no children were present. The congregation, I asked them, what's my favorite time of year? And all of them, VBS. Like, I love it.
They just know it.
They just know it.
Yep.
But we don't have that. But that doesn't mean that it's just a break for us. And there's a lot that we need to be doing, a lot of really important and almost not more important, but equally as important.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are 4 things that I laid out in this video. And the first one is that we need to be evaluating.
Yep.
And honestly, the last 3 months, most of us have already been in evaluation mode. We've seen maybe the way that we've already been doing things is not the best. Maybe it's not the most effective.
Mm-hmm.
So I laid out a couple of questions, and I'm actually going to read them to you because I thought they were good questions of different areas that you should be evaluating to see effectiveness in your ministry. Your vision. What's your vision? How are you going to accomplish this vision? Is your curriculum lining up with this vision? Are events and programs that you're planning meeting this vision? Do you have policies and procedures? Are they being enforced? Are they meeting your goals? How's your volunteer recruitment, retention, training? Are there areas just that are weak and need improving? Are there areas that need updating? Think about your physical space with this. That's where we're at now, but we're in a holding pattern, waiting on the construction team to come and fix things. I'm like, come on, there's no one here. Come fix the walls.
Yep.
And then how are children and families responding to teaching, leaders, events, programs, resources? This is a prime time to evaluate. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have all of this free time because I'm still busy. I'm busier than ever. But it's a really good time, especially if people haven't come back, to start those new things. So if there's anything that you want to start new, this is a great time to start fresh because you've had a break. So you need to evaluate what needs to change. And then if there's things that you were doing that, hey, this was a great idea, this was working great, how do you need to keep doing it? Like, did online work?
Yeah.
How can you keep doing it?
I love that, Amber. I think one of the silver linings of this pandemic is that if we've listened to advice like you've given today, and that is, it's really created an opportunity for us to evaluate. And man, shame on us, honestly, if we get through this and we really didn't evaluate and we just like pick up like it was before without really trying to learn, like, hey, what worked, what didn't work, what do we want to tweak, what changes do we want to make? So I think that's golden advice.
I don't think we can go back to the way we were doing things.
I think you're right. I think if we do,
not effectively.
It's not going to be effective. And
Yeah.
It's probably going to backfire. Yeah.
And I think in everyone's minds that the digital aspect is the biggest one, because we've seen our reach can be further, our reach can be maybe better, maybe more effective, but that's a change factor, and our effectiveness needs to be changed with that we need to ask that question, what do we need to do with digital?
Makes sense. All right, number 2.
You need a plan, and then maybe you need to pivot. So you've spent time in prayer, because we don't do it without Jesus.
Yep.
So what's the plan? How are we going to make these things, these areas that we see that need to change? What are we going to do? Because if we don't have a plan, it's just a wish.
Yep.
It's just a goal. So we need to put a step-by-step plan. How are we going to get there? You think your curriculum's weak? Okay, request some samples from some companies. Talk to some ministry friends. Ask some questions on the I Love KidMin Facebook group.
Yep.
Find out how to get where you want to go, and then do it.
Yep.
Now's the perfect time.
Yep.
So that's a pretty easy. There's not a lot of explanation on that step. Just do it. Plan it out and go for it.
Just do it. Number 3. I don't even know how many you have. I keep asking you for numbers. How many do you have?
There's 4.
Might be 2 might be it. Okay, good.
No, there's 4.
So when I
Number
get to 4,
3.
I can't say number 5. Okay, number 3. Yep.
3 is to connect and encourage. So you need to be connecting with your families, whether you're back or not, because I don't know what part of the country everyone's at, and it differs even from town to town. So connect with your kids, send them stuff in the mail, call them, Skype, Facebook, whatever. Meet them in their driveway. There's people that have been like dropping off stuff. I've seen stuff online where they're meeting up in a park, or they're meeting in their church parking lot.
Yep.
You definitely want to be connecting with families that aren't coming back yet. Maybe they have health concerns. We have a brand new baby at our church, so they're not coming back yet. She was just born during quarantine.
Yep.
Families with health issues or maybe elderly people in their families, they're not coming back yet.
Mhm.
And then let's be honest, we're going to have families that just aren't coming back because they're out of the habit.
Yep.
And those need extra layers of connection because they're out of the habit. Those are your lukewarm families.
Yep.
So they need extra connection. But
Yep.
then I really focus on this, and this has during quarantine been a big thing God's laid on my heart, is connecting with my staff. And we're a small church, so I don't have a staff under me. I have equal staff, and I'm talking about church staff.
Yeah.
We're a small church, and during the quarantine, myself and our worship pastor have been the only ones leading the church through this. Our senior pastor did not. He doesn't understand technology at all. If it were up to him, we would have just been silent during this.
Uh-huh.
I was actually the first one to do anything to reach out to our people when we shut down. And our worship pastor, he does all of the communication, like all that. He received a lot of flack. I told this story in the video. We have a drive-in in our town because our town's awesome.
Yeah.
And so we had a drive-in Easter service, and then it got canceled. And people were nasty to our worship pastor, like nasty, nasty. And he was hurt because that's how he is. He doesn't like conflict. So I've been really intentional during this, just really reaching out and loving on him.
Mhm.
And it's made such a huge difference because no one ministers to the ministers.
That's true.
And then our youth pastor, she's under me, I guess. She works at a health department, a county health department. So she has been overloaded this time. So I have taken almost all of her duties off of her. I told her as we're starting back, I asked her point blank, I'm like, do you have the time to put into even gathering lessons? She's like, no. I'm like, I want whatever hours you have, love on your own 2 children and your husband. I don't want you to even put in hours researching your lessons. Here's what I want you to use, love on your families. That's the order from your boss.
Yep.
So I've sent her chocolates and text, and I'm praying for you because I know her job is stressful.
Yep.
So connect with your staff, not just your volunteers, your paid or unpaid under you, but check on your pastor. Check on your associate pastor, your youth pastor, whoever is on the paid church roll, because their jobs are hard and people are vocal and they are against them. The people will not be happy whatever decisions are being made during this time. Whatever you do, people are going to be angry. So love on them, even if you are not being loved on. Don't do it because you hope someone's going to reciprocate that with you. Just love on them and support them.
That's such good advice. Such good advice. Yeah, we often neglect that, but you're right. People can be just mean, and that's not necessarily because they're mean people. I don't know. I think sometimes they can be well intended, but they don't think, and
they vent their frustrations, and it comes out.
They do. All right, point number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
The last one just applies to parents, so it's not for everyone.
Yep.
But don't waste the summer as a parent. So I shared, if you watch, there's another the State of the Nation video that's coming out sometime with me. And I talked about, as a parent, this quarantine's honestly been amazing for me as a parent, because it gave me, for the first time in 9 years of being a parent, the first time to intentionally do like church at home with my kids. Because normally Sunday mornings goes a little bit like, why aren't you ready? You're supposed to be ready. What are you doing here? Take this Pop-Tart and get in the car. And now we have had the opportunity to sit down, and I've made like nice breakfast, and we just get to have a leisurely time, and we sit, and we've been watching this like little video series, and we do a worksheet, and we talk about Jesus, and we just take our time, and it's been amazing. So much so that my 3-year-old, one morning when we were getting ready, she looks at me and she goes, "Do Jesus?" Like, it created this habit that my 3-year-old's already anticipating this and enjoying it. And it's been amazing. Now, we talked about Jesus, we read devotions, we did all this stuff, but we were not ever this intentional. And I love it. So we've started back at church, but we're getting up early and we're still having church at home before we go.
Yeah.
So as a parent and a children's ministry leader, it's tough. But I'm challenging you to make sure that you're not wasting the summer to be a parent, because you might not ever have this slow of a summer again. Like literally most your summer is camp and VBS. I looked one summer and literally a month and a half of summer was spent on church stuff. And I'm like, wait, I didn't do anything with my kids. I didn't make any memories with my kids. So make extra memories, play extra in the sprinkler, go camp out, blow bubbles, do whatever, but make memories and spend extra time with God as a parent. You get to be a parent first instead of a Miss Amber or a Mr. Ryan.
Exactly. Yeah, we're normally so busy scrambling. I mean, it really is. This is a summer that kids could maybe remember their whole lives. Amber, those were such good points. Man, that's good stuff. You've always got good stuff to say.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's not just me. These are honestly, it's just stuff that he speaks to me, and I just tell people what God's been teaching me.
I love it. Thank you for sharing this. Amber, let me tee up quick to talk about your new book.
Yeah.
You tell us about it.
Yeah. I keep a copy just right here.
I love it.
So, it's Exploring the Bible Through History. It's with Rose Publishing. It follows they have a 10-foot timeline, and it's curriculum lesson. It follows, it's got activities, so many activities. It would be great as you're starting back in person. You can get it on Amazon, through their website, through Christian Book. It's got coloring pages in there. It's chock full. It's very, very much in scripture. I like very meaty lessons. There's not fluff. I like strong apologetics, just meaty lessons, but with lots and lots of activities. Honestly, you could not fit all of these activities in an hour-long lesson. There's so much in there. And then hopefully, if sales are good, this will be the first of many in this series. So if you buy more, the second gets to come out sooner.
That's awesome. I love the book. We're going to give some away at MegaCon.
Yes, I'm hoping to ship them to you tomorrow.
That would be great. And you don't need to pay for the shipping on that. Get with Angie and we can have. No, seriously, let MegaCon pay for the shipping, because we're giving them away at MegaCon. Angie can make those arrangements with you. We're talking business here, aren't we? Right in the middle of the coffee chat. But seriously, talk to Angie and let her pick up the shipping on those books. Yeah, you worked hard on that. Thank you. Go check that book out. Tell us the title one more time.
Exploring the Bible Through History.
Exploring the Bible Through History. And if you are not subscribed to our magazine, Amber puts a lot of work into this magazine. Make sure to go to KidzMatter.com and get
It's going to be a really good issue.
It's going to be a good one. And you can either subscribe or you get a free subscription if you're a member of KidzMatter Pro. So check out a KidzMatter Pro membership if you don't have one already. Now, very important line of business. We both need to smile, Amber, for a screenshot. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And I'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Amber, thanks for joining me on the coffee chat today.
Thank you.
All right. You're loved. Be blessed. Thanks. Great coffee chat, folks. Thank you for joining me today, Facebook. Thank you for joining me, YouTube. Podcast listeners, thank you. I'm out tomorrow. You have a guest host, Sean Sweet. Sean Sweet is going to be my guest host tomorrow. He is inviting some panelists to join him in the conversation in the coffee chat tomorrow. So don't miss tomorrow's daily coffee chat with Ryan Frank with my guest host, Sean Sweet. All right, friends, be blessed. As always, great to chat today. We will see you soon.